Good evening, and welcome to my channel, True Grit Crime, where we get into the nitty gritty of all of the crimes that have happened, past, present, future, whatever it is that uh, strikes your fancy. Um, Tonight, I am going to be covering a case that is very near and dear to my heart. Um, the case is about the Spokane killer, uh, Robert Lee Yates Jr. Um, on a personal level, um, my cousin was one of his victims, and today is the anniversary of the date that she was found. She was found on December 26th, 1997. Um, so tonight we have the privilege of speaking with um, my cousin's sister, Sherry, and have some statements by my great aunt, um, which is my cousin Laurie Ann Wason's mom. So I really appreciate everybody who chooses to come in and join tonight. And I just want to send out some love and prayers to not just for my cousin, but for um, every family member that has lost somebody to this guy. Um, these people were beautiful and they were human. And so, as we go in through tonight and we discuss these crimes, I just really ask that everybody um, make sure that you show kindness and love and respect for anyone that's involved. Um, and yeah, also, disclaimer, there's going to be some pretty ag- nasty stuff that's going to be spoken about tonight. Um, I want you to know that this is not for the faint of heart, and you definitely don't want to listen to this around children. Um, just because some of the subjects that will be spoken about is, mm, like I said, pretty nasty and deep because he did some pretty nasty things to his victims. So, Dark Sea, hey girl, hey, nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Um, I had a great, wonderful Christmas. Wonderful Christmas. So, um, I'm just kind of like waiting a few minutes. My cousin is getting ready to sign in and come on and all that stuff. So, again, I just ask that in chat we all kind of keep it classy. And she's here. Hey, Sherry.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
I'm so glad that you took the time and the opportunity to join in and, you know, pay tribute to Lori and her life and kind of talk about her as just who she was as a person. And um, as we talk about, the things that Robert Lee Yates Jr. did to all of these victims and just kind of pay homage and remembrance to them. So again, thank you so much for taking your time to come on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
So
I'm trying
yeah,
to get used to my camera.
I completely understand. So how was hold on one second. Okay. So yeah, so how was Lori like as a person, a human being, like what do you want to talk about to start with? I'm sorry, I'm kind of like this is my first interview, so
That's okay. It's mine too. I'm kind of nervous, so
well, we're in it together. We're in this together. So, um,
I'm
no
trying to
matter
see
what it
where I
is.
can put this so I can have it on the camera and not be moving so much, and so
Okay.
it's facing me
This is
because it
Stephen Roy.
um. uh, Mom, give me a book.
What kind of book? I don't have a book in here.
Something to put this higher. Um,
Thank you, Dark Sea.
Sherry.
Oh no, my viewers that are
Oh.
watching are able to make comments.
Oh.
So, like when you're in StreamYard, if you click on the top right hand corner, it says comments. Um, you can see like comments that viewers are or like are saying in the stream, or like if they have questions that you like want to look at and answer, you can do that too. There's also like a private chat. So if there's something that you want to tell me privately that you don't want to say out loud, you can type that in there as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Dark Sea said, we are both doing great.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah.
Let me try this. I'll get it down. It's a little better. That's a lot better. That better?
Yeah, that's great.
That's
That's
a lot
great.
better.
So, tonight we're going to talk about Laurie Ann Wason
Wasp.
and Wason. My bad. Wason. I don't know why I said Wason. Ugh.
That's okay.
So tell me about Laurie, like as the person. Maybe share like some of the memories that you had of her, like growing up. Things, whatever you want to share about Laurie. Whatever. Like, we're here.
Mom, is there anything you want to say about Lori? About when she was growing up or anything?
Hi, Grunge Truck.
Well, Lori was really outgoing.
Horses.
She loved, when we were younger, we showed horses, me and her both. Do you have that clipping of Lori?
Huh?
Do you have that clipping of Lori where it says she really wanted to go to the fair of her?
I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, well, when she was younger, my uncle caught a wild horse and Lori trained it. And for some reason, her horse didn't want to load into the trailer. And so she actually rode her horse all the way from, it was Richland, almost West Richland where we lived, all the way to the Kennewick Fairgrounds. And they have her on the front page saying she really wanted to go to the fair, and it showed her hugging her horse because she actually got lost on the way and sprayed by a skunk.
Oh my gosh. Sprayed by
Yeah,
a skunk? Really?
yeah.
Holy
And
moly.
so she made front page on that one. After Lori went to treatment, got clean and sober, she had an adult family home and took care of 6 elderly. And she also showed Rottweilers. She raised and showed Rottweilers. So that was her thing. She loved her Rottweilers.
Yeah. And Lori had kids and stuff too, right?
She has a son.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like, how has this affected your family? And, like, I guess, like, getting into the background of everything that happened with Lori, I guess let's talk about, um, you know, how this happened. Like, what were the circumstances behind this situation?
I'm not sure how it happened actually,
I'm not.
what led up to Lori relapsing.
Relax.
I know her husband relapsed, and when she came home from a dog show, she found him intoxicated, loaded, and she kicked him out, and they were going to counseling. And I guess one day after counseling, she told her husband, let's go get high, and it went from there. And one thing led to another, and of course, to support your drug habit, you got to have money. So Laurie ended up turning to the streets, and yeah, so that's what led up to her getting killed.
Yeah. And so, like, I know this had to be incredibly difficult on everybody in your family, your mom, you, your other sister. Um, talk about your, how it affected you guys. Like, what are these kind of things that you went through, your emotions and
But we still go through it today. I don't think it'll ever go away. Sorry.
I don't think it will either. I'm sorry, honey.
Laurie ran an adult family home.
I already told him that. Laurie was a big part of the family. And Christmas was her favorite time of the year.
And her body was found 20-some years ago today.
And today marks the anniversary. Mom, will you go give me that other photo album? It's in there on the chair, the photo album that you gave me.
What?
I left it in there on the chair. Will you go get it for me, please?
The what?
Photo album. This is a picture of if I can get it right. This is a picture of Laurie and Steve. If I can get it. Hold it right.
I see
Can
her.
you see that?
I do. I see her.
And that's when I think she was still in treatment there. I just got out.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's where she met her husband, Steve.
And she had been clean for some time after she got out of treatment, right? Before
Yeah.
she relapsed.
This is my favorite picture.
Yeah, she'd been clean and sober for quite a few years. And she opened up her adult family home. And like I said, she had 6 elderly living with her she took care of. And she had one caregiver that worked for her, because Laurie mainly did it herself. Trying to see what all these are. There's just so many clippings and stuff we have here.
That's okay. You can share anything that you want to share.
This right here is actually when Laurie got married, and that is my little sister Darcy.
We can't. You got to move it over a little bit because we can't see it. There you go.
Let's see. This one is my little this one is my little sister Darcy. And Laurie's in the middle.
Okay.
And then
over to the left. Right. There you go, right there.
And then this one right here, or the other side, is her friend.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. That was one of her good friends that came to the wedding. Yeah, this was on her wedding day. Wasn't her name Kim, Mom?
Huh?
Laurie's friend? Yeah, Laurie's friend. Her name was Kim. And what that picture was of, it was a newspaper clipping of actually Yates and him and a lot of the women that he murdered. It was the bunch of the women that he murdered.
Mhm.
Goes down to a lot of what they had found so far. To April of '98, and the first one was November 5th, 1997. That wasn't the first one they found, though. Yeah, I believe Jennifer was the youngest one that they found, was the first victim that they found.
And wasn't she like six? I want to say 16.
16, yeah. And she was actually the same age as one of Yates' daughter.
Oh my goodness.
This is Jennifer Joseph. And it's right here. I cannot get this right at all.
There you go, right there.
It's kind of hard to see. Let's see.
We'll pull up some pictures too of the different victims as well, so that we can see them more clearly here in a little bit if you want.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
She was the youngest victim. She was only 16. And she was found in 1997. And the list just goes on.
Yeah, because I read that he had at least anywhere from 13 to 16 confirmed victims, but could there possibly have been more?
Yeah, I think the total in Spokane was 16, and then the 2 in Pierce County, where he actually received the death penalty.
Okay.
But they believe that this goes back from years and years from him being in the Air Force, because he was a Navy pilot in the Air Force. And so they think from him, different places that he's been, they were supposed to be looking into that to find out if they can link any killings to him. And there's actually like 3 different books out. And one is Mark Furman, who I do not like Mark Furman at all. Now I can see why he's not a detective anymore.
Yeah.
Mark Furman, you know who he is, right? He's the one that actually worked on the O.J. Simpson case and got fired because he lied under oath.
I didn't know that. I didn't really know who he was. I mean, I watched a little bit. The OJ case happened when I was like just a young child. I remember OJ being on television and like on trial and everything. And I remember the adults kind of watching it, but I never really got into it and watched it over again. I mean,
I forgot. I forgot. He actually was a detective on the O.J. Simpson case, and he lied under oath, and so he was no longer a detective, and so he decided to move over by Spokane, Washington, and he had a talk show that he did every week, every Thursday, I think, and it was all about crime, and he was talking about the Yates case. And to me, he still wanted to be that detective he couldn't be. And there was just a lot of lies that he was telling. Like the lead detective on my sister's case, me and my sister wanted to know why we couldn't have her autopsy. And of course, they're not going to give it to us because of evidence in the autopsy. And we didn't understand that at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't think the detectives really wanted to come out and say, because there really was a lot of evidence. I myself just read Laurie's autopsy last year.
Okay.
After all,
talk about it at all?
There was just a lot. Well, the autopsy, it showed where he did have sex with them before and after after he killed them.
Yeah.
And it showed, on her body. Laurie had been dead 2 months, and I think a lot of the reason was from her body being decomposing, and animals ate at her foot, I don't think the detectives wanted us to see that, the autopsy and everything that was on there. It was horrible.
Okay. Now I know that she was found next to another lady, Shauna or Sean that you said who we were talking about. Yeah. Now I can't remember whether it was Laurie's or Shauna's evidence, but one of the two, the bag that was placed on their head after they were shot. And for the viewers, we'll get into that like after, we kind of talk about everything and looking at all of the evidence. But was there was a fingerprint found on one of the bags?
There was I believe it was a partial print,
Okay.
but that's not how they linked him to him being the serial killer. That wasn't. I don't think they could fully confirm or get his print off of it.
Okay.
Because it was just like a partial, and they weren't able to really get anything off it. I don't think.
Right. So.
But I know Sean McClanahan that had been placed with Laurie. Her body had the most evidence on it, and she had been dead less than 24 hours when they found Laurie and Sean together.
Okay. Wow. So she had been dead less than 24 hours, and then he
Sean McClanahan.
Yeah,
She'd been dead less than 24 hours, and Laurie had been dead already 2 months.
2 months. So when did you guys know that there was something like absolutely wrong? As far as Laurie went, like, I don't know how to ask, like
missing.
You know what I mean? When she went missing, like, how did you guys?
I think right away. I think right away we knew. Just because our family was close, and we always kept in contact with Laurie no matter what. She might have been down on the streets, but she still had a home. She had a husband. She still had her mom and dad and us, her sisters, and we always stayed in contact no matter what. And when Laurie came missing, we were all looking for her. I mean, we went and we hung flyers from the Tri-Cities to Spokane and from Spokane back, and all over Spokane. We even talked to people down in the streets. We tried to get as much information as we could, but of course, a lot of people were scared to talk, or I think the women, were scared because there was this killer still on the loose.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have like an opportunity to talk to anybody after the fact, like after he was caught? I mean, because he went on a spree for, my understanding is like 10 plus years, possibly.
No, not really.
No.
No.
So how were the detectives like when this happened? Like, were they really supportive? Like, what were some of the things that they did for you guys? Like, what were they like during the investigation and such?
I know the lead investigator on my sister's case, he I can't remember his name. Of course, everything when you want to talk, you can't remember nothing. But
it's okay. Take your time. You know what I mean?
I think he was a really good detective, and I think they did their job the best they could in finding him. Now, some people say, and I do blame the cop that when he pulled over Yates the one time, they pulled him over and they wrote the ticket wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote it down that it was a Camaro instead of a Corvette that he was driving.
Yes.
Like, I think if that police officer, if he would have wrote the ticket right, I think they could have caught him a lot sooner or connected him a lot sooner to these cases.
Right. And how long after the ticket was written was it before they caught him?
I think a good year or something. I think there would still be a lot of women alive if that one officer would not have wrote the ticket wrong. I do.
Yeah.
Because it was all linked back to Corvette.
Yeah.
The Jennifer Joseph, like I said, she was the youngest victim, one of his first victims, and that's where they found evidence of Jennifer Joseph in his Corvette. So that's how they were actually able to link him.
Okay. So like I know that you attended like every single court hearing that you could. You attended to trial. What was that like for you? Being in that courtroom and witnessing like all of the different things that family members were going through and listening to the evidence that had been brought against him.
It was hard. I don't think they I don't think we heard all the evidence that was there because he took a plea agreement. Because he took the plea agreement, I don't think any evidence really was brought in during trial. Just
Did he immediately take the plea agreement, or was this like a process where like after a while he decided like to just go ahead and take the plea agreement, or like how did that go?
I think it took a minute for him to actually take the plea agreement, but it wasn't really that long that he did, because it was after they found my sister and Sean McClanahan together, because they dropped Sean McClanahan's case, part of the plea agreement, for him not to get the death penalty, because her body had the most evidence.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So I know that during the end of this and when the judge was getting ready to sentence him, Great Aunt Clara came forward and she made a very powerful victim's impact statement in court.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that at all?
I couldn't go up there and face him, just because I sat in court and watched him, and it was like he had no remorse for anything that he did. I think the only reason that he really showed any tears in court was because he got caught, and he knew he was going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And just when my mom went up there, I honestly don't know how she had the courage to sit there and look at him and tell him what she did. I know basically what she told him, was, he got to live the rest of his life in prison, and we had to go to the grave to see my sister, and that she hoped he rots in hell. And then she left, because the whole courtroom started clapping, of course, and the judge didn't like that.
Yeah.
And but he had nothing to say, except when he gave his statement to us, and all he said was like, to the family of Laurie Wason, I'm sorry, or Jennifer Joseph, I am sorry. That's all he could say. And I don't think he really was sorry. I mean, he was sorry that he got caught. That was it.
Right. Because I was watching some footage on a documentary from his trial, and there was a individual that stood up in the courtroom when he said, I'm very sorry for what I did. And one of the victim's family members stood up and said, then why did you do it, sir?
That's Sean McClanahan's sister, the one that was found with Laurie. That was her sister, and her name is Kathy. And she everyone wanted to know why he did this. Even his dad went into the jail and asked him, and to this day he can't give an answer why he did it, or why he was killing.
I started listening to like different, like podcasts and watching documentaries about him and stuff. And just this last year, he interviewed with a podcaster, actually. And he spoke
Wow.
about, why he did that. And a lot of his answers were blame shifting. A lot of it was you know, like he said that he had been molested as a child and that,
Yeah.
it messed him up, and um that as he got older and um like his wives, when he would get upset with his wife, he would, go out, and that's when he would find his victims and lure his victims. And I just thought that that was just so disgusting and cowardice, because it was never wanting to take any form of personal responsibility to the things that he did to these ladies.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't. What were you saying about his wife? He did what?
when he would have arguments with his wife or
Oh,
disagreements, or she was disagreeable about, performing different things that he would ask for, in their marital room, their marital bed, um,
yeah.
that that was the reason why he decided to do some of these things. Um, Dark C has a question for you, because I asked I said, hey, does anybody have any questions? Um, Dark C wants to know, have you found any peace since the conviction?
No,
No.
no, no, not at all. Even though he was caught and convicted, that don't bring my sister back.
Right.
And and being that we have no death penalty here in Washington, and he'll never get the death penalty, because they took that off.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think it's fair. Uh, I think he should still be put to death because he was sentenced before.
That's right.
They
I agree
changed
with that
they
too.
they changed the law on that. I think he should still be put to death. I mean, he killed so many women, and he broke up so many happy homes. Even though, yeah, a lot of these girls were on the streets, but every one of those women had a mother and a father and a sister or a brother, and they were mothers,
Yes.
and none of them deserved to die like that. And it 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 sickens me that he could just go and do that and not and sit there in court like it was nothing.
Yeah. Dark C said, I am so sorry for you and your family. I can't imagine how it would be to go through what you have.
Mom, we're on TV. Can you say that again?
Dark C said, I am sorry for you and your family, and I can't imagine how it would be to go through what you have. Um, I
Thank you. It's still hard to this day, and sorry.
no, you're okay.
Like I said, Lori was a big part of the family, and there's not a day that goes by that that all of us think about her. And Christmas is especially hard because that was her favorite time of the year.
Yeah, it was her favorite time of the year. What was the thing that you think that Lori loved most about Christmas? Like, what were some of the things that Lori did at Christmas that she took enjoyment in?
Um, just being with her family, um, giving, helping other people.
Yeah,
Lori had a very big heart.
yeah. I'm just, I still am just like floored about just everything that has to do with this. And I know, I mean, I know it's harder for you more than it is for me. I mean, Lori's my family. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
at the same time, like I didn't know Lori as intimately as you did. You know, I didn't get a chance to experience that vibrant person that she was. And so if there's anything like any message that you could get out there that you wanted to say to yourself, like say unfortunately, you know, people in the Department of Corrections now, they're starting to move forward to let these people have like tablets in some states and stuff like that. So like if Robert Yates was sitting here and he was watching this, do you have anything that you would like to say to him at all?
This is why he killed my sister. Why you had to take her.
I'm so sorry.
I said I don't think I could ever be able to face him or talk to him after what he's done because he's caused so much pain in our family.
I know. So I know that Lori is still very much a part of your guys' family, you know, and
Oh
Aunt Clara goes and she visits her grave regularly and she decorates it, you know. Um,
yeah. Yeah.
what were some of Lori's favorite things to, you know, I don't know, like did she like collect things or did she like um I don't know, like what was her favorite food? Like what I don't know. I want to kind of like get to know her like as an individual, like as a person, you know what I mean?
Um, I don't know that when we were young, I know she loved to ride horses. She loved to ride horses back then. Growing up, we were all pretty close. Um, Lori basically did her own thing, I guess, and she was always really independent.
Was
And
she
you could,
always independent from like a young child all the
yeah,
way up or
yeah, just like when she wanted to go to the fair, and she was not going to let that stop her when she was younger, and she rode her pony all the way, her horse all the way from Richland to Kennewick because she really wanted to go to the fair. And I mean, you couldn't stop her. What Lori wanted to do, Lori was going to do, and she would put everything into it to get something accomplished. Uh, Raising six elderly on your own, that's kind of hard, not having a break at all. And Lori had them living in her home, and she did a very good job at it. She had one, after a while, she got a caregiver so she could go out and start doing things on her own. And that was basically her taking her dogs to dog shows because she went to um, Los Angeles. She just went Nevada, different places for the dog shows. And so she would have to have a caregiver in there. But I think that was the only time that she left him.
yeah. Sunny Justice says, I am so sorry for the pain in your hearts. She is sending you a virtual hug.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. She's awesome people. Awesome people. She's one of
Yeah.
my faves. We're like peanut butter and jelly. That's what she says. And we're like sisters, but we didn't come from the same batch. But
Yeah.
I call her my brother, my sister from another mother, Mister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
is there anything else that you just kind of want to talk about with Lori? Would you like to play Lori's favorite Christmas song? Since she loved Christmas so much, like that was her favorite holiday, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's John Lennon. This is Christmas. Lori loved that song. She played it all the time at Christmas.
Okay. Do you want to? Okay.
Hmm.
Dark Sea said, I don't think He has the ability to understand the depth of your feelings or even know a glimpse of the love that you shared with her. The callousness of what he did, I don't think he is capable.
I don't either. I don't either.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull up some photos of Laurie too that we can share, um, so that everybody can see just how absolutely beautiful she was. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, because she was very beautiful.
She was. She was beautiful inside and out.
Hmm. And this is her with her son, right?
No, that's her with my daughter.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. And
That's Laurie and my mom.
okay, it's Laurie.
Yeah. It's Laurie again. That was one of the pictures right there. Um, they actually had a mugshot of Laurie that we did not like, and they had that up at first, and we fought with them to have that picture taken off and have that one. And that is actually the picture that is on her grave.
Okay.
That's
That's
her
her
with
son.
her son. Yeah.
Okay.
Her wedding day. That's her grave.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess give me just a second. So, do you want to Darksea said she's beautiful. You can see strength in her.
Yeah.
You can see a strength in her.
Yep, there was.
So, do you want to are you okay with staying and before his sentence was meted out, Yates claimed that he felt remorse for his crimes that he had committed. He said the following amid hissing and jeers in the courtroom. I've taken away the love, the compassion, and the tenderness of your loved ones, and left in that place grief and bitterness. In my struggle to overcome my guilt and shame, I have turned to God. I hope that God will replace your sorrow with peace. Yates was sentenced to 408 years in prison for one of the worst murder sprees in U.S. history. Yates is currently, at this time that this was written, in Pierce County Jail awaiting a June 2001 trial for the murders of Connie LaFonte Ellis and Melinda Mercer. If convicted, he faces the death penalty. A judge has ruled that evidence linking Yates to the multiple slayings in Spokane will be admissible in Pierce County trial. Now, something that is pretty interesting, and it's kind of like, I don't know, like I don't know how to say it. The same prison that he worked at in Walla Walla as a prison guard is the very prison that he resides in today.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know if that's like, I don't know what the word would be to describe that. Like, do you have a word for that, Sherry?
I don't know either. I'm not sure.
It's just
Good
crazy.
question. Mm-hmm.
Crazy, crazy. Definitely karma.
Yeah.
Definitely karma. So, I know that this was like, it's 2 hours and 29 minutes long so far. And I just, I really, really thank you for coming on and um, just taking the time to talk to me and share this story with everybody, and to just help share the victim stories and honor their life and let people know like they had issues, but they weren't any less different or less human than you and I.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
do you have any final thoughts that you would like to share?
Um, I don't think so. I just wish they'd bring back the death penalty here so Yates could be put to death because I truly believe he should.
I do too. I definitely think that it was really like it's frustrating to see like that when offenders are sentenced to the death penalty, when you have such heinous crimes that are perpetrated against victims, and then it's like, it's almost as if like the punishment just completely gets ignored and set aside.
Yeah,
Um,
and they're
are
stating in there what you read that this the most heinous crimes. I mean, that one of the biggest crimes in Washington in history, and they're just going to let them live. That's just
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah. I mean, this guy was pretty gross and pretty.
Yeah,
It's
he did some unspeakable
disturbing.
things.
Yeah. I mean, they said that this guy was like, yeah, definitely one of the worst they had ever seen. Like, he's listed as one of like the most disturbing serial killers by far.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, if anybody, I guess, I don't know if anybody has any questions or anything like that. Um, but yeah, I really appreciate you coming on and just talking to us. And um, did Aunt Clara say that she had any thoughts or anything like that she wanted to say?
I don't know. I'll ask her.
All right,
Mom, mom, mom.
Dexter.
Yeah, ask if and Claire wants to see if you want to add anything about Lori.
Oh, and thank you, thank you. And for everybody that doesn't know, this is my puppy Dexter. So I think he's just saying hi to you.
Oh no, she's good. She's
Okay.
yeah.
So just a final wrap up. Dark Sea says, "Thanks, Sherry. It takes bravery and strength, and love sent your way."
Thank you.
I hope you have a good night. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Dexter is quite a cutie. My puppy. Well, come on, Dexter. You want to say hi? Come on. Say hi to Sherry. Say
Oh.
hi.
Hey, Dexter.
Say hi. So yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you um finish your evening and kind of, you know, relax and wind down. I know that this had to be extremely difficult. Um and again, I really appreciate everything. Um
Thank you for
and
inviting me.
you're welcome. And if you ever need anything, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. I'm here for you anytime, day or night.
Thank
Call
you.
me. You're welcome. So, um, do you know how to leave studio?
Yeah.
All right. I love
Okay.
you guys.
Love you too. Bye bye.
Bye. Hi. Hey, Lori. So, it's really, that was a lot, you know? Um, and like I said before, like, I think that what we all can deduce from this is that these people weren't any different than you and I. And they didn't deserve to lose their life in such, like, a callous manner. Not at all. I just kind of want to take a moment to, you know, pray for everyone, pray for the families. Um, Dear Heavenly Father, we appreciate the time and the love that you provide for each and every one of us in our lives. And Lord, we ask that you provide love and strength and anything that you can for all of these victims, these families. Please bless them. Please continue to give them renewed hope and strength, and just hold them close to you, tightly and near. Please take care of each and every one of these victims. I know that they're up there with you as your angels in heaven. In your name we pray. Amen. And Dark Sea, maybe we'll have to look into similar crimes where he was serving. If there's a way to have closure for any other families, then they should have some. I agree. I agree. So I think maybe we can take a look at, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how to, in Germany, like, I don't know. Do you know how to get records from like overseas? Because I know that it's like a completely different process than it is here in the United States. I guess maybe I may have to friend somebody in Germany and figure it out or check it out. Thank you, Laurie. It was beautiful, and I just appreciate, like, today. It's been over 20 years today. Today is the anniversary of the date that Laurie was found. Um, so like, let's see. 24 years today. 24 years since she was found. And it affects my great aunt so badly, guys. It really does. I mean, she misses her daughter deeply every single solitary day. Every day. Um, there isn't a day that she doesn't post about missing Laurie or, just wishing that she was there because they were so close. And it breaks my heart. She's lost her husband and then her daughter. And sometimes she deals with so much, you know what I mean? And I couldn't imagine what it is to feel the loss of a child. They say the hardest things you can ever do is bury a parent, bury a spouse, or bury a child. So, um, Dark Sea says, thank you for sharing this with us. It was touching and heartbreaking and brought personal insight to these events. I really appreciate you guys coming and listening to Laurie's story and giving her a chance and a platform. And Laurie says, I can't imagine her pain. Neither can I, honey. Neither can I. So, is it time to go? Is that what it is? Okay. So, I guess Mr. Dexter says, Mommy, it's time to get done. And again, I love you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys coming out to join me tonight for this segment. Um, and I'm going to keep pushing forward and keep trying to get more cases out there. more information about things. If anybody ever has like a suggestion of a case that they would like for me to cover or talk about, please feel free to email me at truegritcrime@gmail.com. You can also email me at truegritcrime@protonmail.com. And thanks, guys, and have a wonderful evening. I love all of you. Bye.